In this tutorial, I'll show you how to connect an Involve Me funnel to Zapier and automatically send every completed submission to Google Sheets. Zapier lets you connect Involve Me with thousands of other applications. We'll use Google Sheets as a simple example, but you can follow the same process with CRMs, email marketing platforms, project management tools, and many other apps. Before we set up the integration, here's a quick look at the funnel we'll use. You can build your funnel manually or use the Involve Me AI agent on the left. Simply describe what you want to create or change, and the agent can help you update the pages, questions, logic, or design for you. For this tutorial, we're using a single outcome funnel. This means every participant reaches the same final page after completing the quiz. This insurance lead quiz starts with a welcome page and asks 3 short questions. Participants select the type of coverage they need, when they need it, and whether they already have coverage. The final page collects their first name, last name, and email address before directing them to the thank you page. We'll send all of this information to Google Sheets through Zapier. Before testing this app, complete the funnel once, so Zapier has a submission to retrieve. The funnel does not need to be published yet. You can submit it directly through Preview while it is still in draft. Make sure you complete the entire funnel and reach the final page, since this workflow will use completed submissions as its trigger. Now return to the editor and open the Connect tab. Find Zapier and click Connect. If you already have a Zapier account, select Login and continue using Google or your email address. If you do not have an account yet, select Sign Up and follow the steps to create one. Since I already have a Zapier account, I'll select Login and sign in with Google. Once you're signed in, Involve Me displays your existing Zapier workflows. Click Create Workflow, and a new Zap opens with a trigger and action ready to configure. Before we start setting it up, let's take a quick look at how a Zap workflow is structured. Every Zap begins with a trigger, which is the event that starts the workflow. It is then followed by one or more actions, which determine what happens next. You can use the plus icons to add extra steps, such as sending a Slack notification, updating a CRM contact, or starting an email campaign. Zapier also offers Copilot, which can build a workflow from written instructions. For this tutorial, we'll configure each step manually so you can see how the workflow works. Click the trigger step. Zapier first shows a list of suggested apps based on the tools connected to your account. Select Involve Me as the app that will start the workflow. For the trigger event, select New Completed Submission. This means the Zap will start whenever someone completes the selected Involve Me funnel. Next, select the Involve Me account Zapier should access. Choose the correct Involve Me account that contains the funnel you want to use, then click Continue. Now we choose the Involve Me funnel Zapier should receive completed submissions from. I'll select Insurance Coverage Lead, which is the funnel we created earlier. Next, test the trigger so Zapier can retrieve a recent completed submission from the funnel. Here, we can confirm that Zapier has received the test submission we created earlier, including the participant's submission details. This sample data will be available when we map the participant's details and answers to the Google Sheets columns. Now that Zapier can receive completed submissions from the funnel, we need to decide what should happen with that data. Click the Action step and select Google Sheets as the app where the submission details will be sent. For the action event, select Create Spreadsheet Row. This tells Zapier to add a new row to the selected Google Sheet each time it receives a completed Involve Me submission, using the participant details and answers we will map in the upcoming steps. Next, select the Google account that contains the spreadsheet you want to use and continue. Then, choose the Lead Generation Completed Submissions spreadsheet. Select Sheet 1 as the worksheet, where Zapier should add each new submission as a separate row. We'll leave the time zone option set to false for this example. Zapier now displays the column headings from the selected spreadsheet. For each column, choose the matching value from the Involve Me submission. We'll map the participant's first name, last name, email address, detected country, and submission timestamp. The detected country is automatically included in the Involve Me submission data, even though it was not collected through the contact form, so we can also send it to Google Sheets. We'll review the data. Zapier is ready to send, and make sure each value is mapped correctly. Then click Test Step to create a sample row in Google Sheets. Once the test is complete, Zapier confirms that the row was added successfully and shows the exact values sent to each spreadsheet column. Before publishing the Zap, we'll run a full test of the entire workflow, starting with the Involve Me trigger and ending with the Google Sheets action. If both steps are completed successfully, we know the entire connection is working from start to finish. Zapier can receive the completed submission from our Involve Me funnel and add the participant details and answers we want to map to the correct columns in Google Sheets. Once the trigger and action have both been tested successfully, click Publish to activate the Zap. The workflow is now live and ready to run automatically. From this point forward, whenever a participant completes the selected Involve Me funnel, Zapier will retrieve the submission data and add the mapped details to a new row in Google Sheets. When we return to Involve Me, the new workflow appears in the Zapier workflow list and is already switched on. Save to confirm the setup and complete the connection. The Zapier integration will then be shown as connected to this funnel. Now that we're back in the Involve Me editor, we can publish the funnel and test the live automation. We'll complete the funnel using new contact details. Each completed submission should automatically appear as a new row in Google Sheets, confirming that the workflow is working correctly. Let's test it. We'll go through the funnel a few times, choosing different answers and entering new sample contact details for each submission. This will let us confirm that every completed entry is sent to Google Sheets as a separate row. Next, open the Responses tab, where we can see the two completed submissions. When we select a submission, the Zapier integration shows a successful status. This confirms that the submission was sent from Involve Me to Zapier without any errors and processed by the active workflow. Finally, open Google Sheets to confirm the result. Here, we can see each completed funnel submission added as a separate row, including the earlier preview submission we used while setting up and testing the Zap. The participant details, detected country, and timestamp all appear in the correct columns. This confirms that the Zapier workflow is active and successfully sending Involve Me submissions to Google Sheets. That's it. We connected the Involve Me funnel to Zapier, mapped the submission data to Google Sheets, tested the workflow, and published it. New completed submissions will now be added automatically. You can use the same setup to connect your funnel with other apps and build automations that match your workflow. Thanks for watching.